What's up, Collider TV Talk fans? Josh McCouga here with Thad Williams, Turkey Man. The Turkey Man?
The Turkey Man.
The Turkey Man.
I'm the Turkey Man, and I'm okay. I don't know.
I liked where that was going. You could have held on for a little bit.
Yeah. That was a little Monty Python.
Yeah. You're here on a Collider TV Talk. We're doing a little Thanksgiving special, pre-tape, whatever the case may be.
It's Black Friday.
It's Black Friday.
So if you're listening to this waiting in line for cheap bed sheets, congratulations.
Good luck for the 10-cent DVD of Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 all in one.
That's a good combo.
Yeah, it's a fantastic combo. You guys can listen to this show on the Collider TV Talk podcast feed, which is probably where you got it right now. But if you aren't subscribed, rate, leave a comment, tell your friends. Collider podcast channel is where you can watch us. We recorded this on Wednesday, the greatest drinking day of the year, my favorite holiday of the year. I miss going home to my hometown bar, and getting to the bar at like 6:30 to beat the lines and staying till 2 in the morning. And it's like the greatest drinking night ever.
I haven't been home. I haven't been home for Thanksgiving in probably 12 or 13 years, and
been a while.
My family is far better for it.
Yeah.
But I do remember. Yeah, there was that. A few years, definitely in college, you come back on that Wednesday night.
Oh, God.
You meet up with all your old high school friends. You're like, we can drink for legal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do this, and we can do this in public. This is fun.
Busiest bar night of the year, the greatest drinking night of the year. And for those people that aren't in the United States or are not drinkers, that's fine. Nobody's perfect. In the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving on the last Thursday in November, basically. I mean, it's not it's like the last official weekend.
Is it the 5th Thursday in November or the 4th Thursday? There's a rule.
Thursday.
There's a rule.
Look that up.
When is Thanksgiving every year?
But Thanksgiving Eve.
The 4th Thursday of November.
4th Thursday of November. There you go.
Yeah.
But the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, a great holiday, which helps you be hungover all day or just keep drinking through your family's Thanksgiving while your parents fight over a turkey and your aunt and uncle show up late. There we go.
Hey.
So what we're going to do today is I tweeted out earlier that Thad and I were thankful for things in television. And if you guys have anything that you want to tweet back at us that you're thankful for, I sent that out. Nobody can really tweet it now because we're shooting live to tape. But I'll read those tweets later on in the show. I already saw one that was pretty good. And we're going to talk about some of our favorite Thanksgiving episodes of shows. And then we're going to briefly talk about Daredevil and dogs. And then And then up top, I'm just going to tell you right now, I finished Narcos Mexico last night.
Oh, you did?
I got through it. This is the quickest binge I've done in a long time.
That's impressive.
The hardest part, and we were talking about it a couple of days ago.
Is it 13 or 10?
It's 10.
Okay.
The hardest part about the Narcos binge, or one of my favorite shows that nobody watches, I know, is Gomorrah on Sundance Channel, is you have to pay attention to everything because it's all subtitles. It's all in Spanish.
Gomorrah's subtitled?
It's Italian.
Oh, yeah. I did not know that. I thought it was British.
No, it's Italian.
Oh.
The thing about Narcos Mexico is that it is all. I mean, it's like all the other Narcos seasons is 90% subtitles, 10% the DEA talking about that, and then
which I absolutely like.
Yes.
like in the Americans, where it's like you don't want them speaking in like Boris and Natasha voices.
No,
like they're speaking actual Russian.
Yes,
and in Narcos they speak actual Spanish.
Correct.
As opposed to most of American television and movies where they just. The bad guys are in British accents and the good guys are in American accents.
My favorite botch of an accent in something like that was the Tom Cruise movie Valkyrie, where they were there was no accents.
No, they weren't even trying.
Hello and welcome to Nazi Germany. I'm Hitler.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's not how you speak, you dummy. But
overall, though, I did like that movie. Come to think of it,
it was actually a pretty
It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, so let's get into this.
Let's do it.
I've got my list of my favorite ones. They're not ranked, so I'm going to have to hunt and peck for my favorite one. What is your all-time favorite Thanksgiving Day episode of television? Thanksgiving episodes of TV are a weird beast. Every show does it basically.
Yeah.
I think they're more accessible than, say, a Christmas episode, which can either be very secular or very religious.
Yes.
And depending on the writer's room, a lot of writers' rooms were traditionally a bunch of Jewish men.
Yes.
In the writers' room for many years, and so the the tone of Christmas episodes were a little bit different,
right?
Depending on the show.
Yeah.
But everyone celebrated Thanksgiving, and so it was and Thanksgiving episodes fell in November sweeps.
Yes,
which was a really big thing back in the ratings when ratings mattered.
Correct. When the Nielsen box existed in one house in Omaha.
That one house. I knew a friend of mine's parents got a Nielsen box in college.
I don't think it even existed in Pittsburgh.
And they're the only people I've ever met that were Nielsen families.
Yes.
But so everyone did a Thanksgiving episode. It was like it was a rite of passage.
Awesome.
And if you, it's interesting because if you're a new show, your 13th episode, like shows would have 13 episodes and then they get the back 9 order for a full season. The 13th episode a lot of times would run right up to Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
So some of these were like season finales because they didn't know if they were going to get a full season or anything. So
very interesting way of looking at old television or previous television. I will say recently some of the better Thanksgiving episodes are 100% This Is Us.
Well, yeah.
Because they have, I mean, they're an emotional journey.
I just watched this
most recent one.
This week's Thanksgiving episode.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on the DVR because
it's okay.
I wanted to watch the first round of the teen tournament last night.
I got spoiled. They moved
by Twitter.
Yeah, by Instagram because I think they delayed it by a day in LA, because of the Rams game on Monday night.
Correct.
And then so I watched the first episode, which I think you were at the taping for.
Did you see it? Did you see me?
I didn't see you. I saw a crowd of people. I was looking for your head.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for like a fist pump. But I didn't see that. And then I was scrolling Instagram and I saw the winners from night 2 because I think night 2 aired in most of the country.
Rest of the world. And what was weird is that they ended on like
I'm really bummed.
I would have thought that the Wednesday before Thanksgiving would be the perfect night to end the teen final, but what are you going to do?
I think they're doing like special programming in a lot of markets.
Sure. Anyway, so we were there, but I watched the teen tournament, and then Amanda and I started watching Dogs, which you recommended on Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is totally non-Thanksgiving related. We're through 2 of them.
Oh, I didn't watch the second one yet. I couldn't do one. After one, I had to put it away.
It's that I sobbed in that first one.
Yeah. I was a blubbering mess.
I mean, Amanda is on the couch, and I have this, I think I've said it before on this show, or at least other shows, is when I start crying, I have this big inhale where I'm like, and Amanda looks over and she's sobbing.
Yeah.
I'm sobbing. So then we watched the second one. It wasn't as emotional as the first one.
Okay.
It's just a very lovely story about a man and his dog.
Okay. That's good. The first one was hard.
Just heartbreaking. And she was like, I can't be crying this before Thanksgiving. And then
we watched it before going to a birthday party. I was going to Perry's birthday party, and we're going to leave in like 20 minutes. And I'm like, I need to clean up first. This is awful.
Yeah, it was. It's a really, really well done show. The Power of the Dog is amazing.
Yeah,
but
I do love
didn't
dogs.
get a chance to watch.
Now here's
This Is Us, but because I was finishing,
it's good. It's not their best Thanksgiving episode, but it was a good episode.
Did they watch Police Academy 3?
No, it came up in conversation, but tangentially.
Okay. Which is a great Police Academy.
Yes, it is. It is way better than 4 Citizens on Patrol. But now, real quick on Dogs.
Yeah.
Is it a good documentary series, or is it just pulling at the heartstrings? I couldn't tell with the first episode. I felt like it was missing a few beats.
The second one has more of a story.
I wanted more information.
Like
I felt like it. I wanted to like see them after a period of time.
Okay.
I wanted a little bit more backstory on the company and how that the group that was
I think
training
it was more
the dogs.
about the girl and what the dog can do for her.
Yeah, when they started discussing the 2 families, when they introduced the second family, I felt like it was getting a little too muddled.
A little bit.
But I was so engrossed and in tears that I couldn't really process whether or not this was good or bad or mediocre or whatever. Also, there were a lot of hints that it was filmed in like 2015.
Oh, really?
Because the mom said something about 3 years prior, I thought, at the beginning, and then she was reading a diary entry from 2012. And so I was like, if this was... because then my brain was like, if this is a couple years old, like I want them to go back and see how the dog is after a time.
Because when they say to the they talk about the bond between the girl and her service dog, and they like no family member can give it treats, and the sibling just like walks out.
Yeah,
I feel that because all they want is that family dog.
Yeah. No, that was when I was started falling. All right, so
anyway, here we go. We're back.
Thanksgiving.
The reason I didn't watch This Is Us Thanksgiving last night is because I was watching all of that other stuff.
Yes.
All right. We're going to talk about our favorite Thanksgiving episodes. Then we're going to talk about our favorite Friends Thanksgiving episodes because I think that is the best show that does Thanksgiving.
They did it so well and so frequently.
Yes.
Every year they tried to do a big Thanksgiving episode, and I think there's in my opinion, there's definitely one clear-cut winner, but I don't know.
Okay, so my favorite Thanksgiving episode of a television show. Okay, the South Park Black Friday episode, which isn't a Thanksgiving episode.
No, that's on my list too. It's genius.
Is so good.
It's such a great.
Ken and I were talking about it on the afternoons, which also premieres on Fridays at debut or whatever. It airs on Fridays.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Black Friday because Ken was a director of security for so long.
Right.
And he hates Black Friday.
He hates Black Friday.
And he was there at the beginning of sort of the Black Friday and then watched as it transitioned into what is now The Walking Dead. Like it is a full-on Armageddon apocalypse.
It's the Nordstrom rack sale when all the wedding dresses go out.
Yes.
and there's just the parade of
Yeah. It's that thing in Boston, that running of the dresses.
Yeah. Sorry, that's Filene's Basement.
Yes.
Not Nordstrom Rack. Filene's Basement.
It's kind of the same thing.
That's Boston.
Most Nordstrom Racks are in basements, and they're fantastic. I shop at Nordstrom Rack all the time. But Ken said that the Black Friday episode of South Park is as close to accurate as a Black Friday is.
Pretty much, pretty accurate, and so hilarious. That's part of the 3-part Game of Thrones trilogy they did.
Yeah, it is.
And I love their trilogy episodes. I haven't watched the last couple seasons of South Park. I fell off during the Member Berries year.
Yeah, remember?
I remember. It was getting a little too serialized for me to keep up with it, and I didn't love where it was going. I heard that the year after that got back on track, and they were able to tell more stories.
Yes.
But so I'm a few years removed. But yeah, I mean, between their Black Friday episode and then at the holidays, the Woodland Critter Christmas.
Oh man, it's fantastic.
I mean, hands down, one of the best episodes ever. All right, so
what about you?
All right, so I think
it's not. I mean, I'm just going on things that I love here. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. This I wouldn't say this is necessarily my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. You've got you already mentioned South Park.
Yeah.
Slapsgiving.
Oh,
How Met Your Mother Slapsgiving. I mean, it was this running joke that they were setting up, and then to have the Thanksgiving episode finally commence everything that you've been waiting for, and they actually pulled it off.
Oh yeah.
I will say that when they did Slapsgiving 2 a couple years later, I don't know if it had the same weight.
It's sort of like, I mean, obviously probably the only sequels out there that can handle the first one is like, Empire Strikes Back, Bad Boys 2.
Yeah,
pretty much it. Young Guns 2, obviously, I'll throw that in there as well. But when you have the first Slapsgiving so epic,
it
is hard to follow up a second.
It is definitely
especially a few years later when they could have done it the exact next season.
Yeah.
They wanted
I think
to,
it was
go
ahead.
One of my favorites is the Everybody Loves Raymond when Doris makes the tofurkey.
Yes.
It's a tofu turkey.
Yeah.
Everybody loses their mind and they try and it is because she doesn't want Frank to have fat.
Yeah. No fat.
No fat.
No fat.
It is.
That was a great show.
So underrated.
Yeah.
It was my parents' favorite show. And
Deborah!
Raymond. That episode is so my family because the Barones were the Macugas. Right? My grandma lived up the street.
Yep.
And the family Thanksgivings were always a thing. Now, my grandma would never go into making a tofurkey, but when my grandpa was getting older, he was bigger and he had a lot of cholesterol and everything, and my grandma was always trying to get him on a certain kind of diet.
Sure.
So if the doctor said he can't have turkey, she would have done something like this.
Yeah.
And we would have gone somewhere and hid turkey in the basement and eaten it like that. That's why this episode makes me so happy.
That's fair. That reminds me of the Cheers episode, Thanksgiving Thanksgiving orphans. They have dinner. They have Thanksgiving dinner at Carla's house, and it ends with a food fight.
Yes,
it ends with a food fight.
That is an amazing episode of television.
And Norm's wife Vera is there, and she gets hit with.
Is that the first appearance of Vera?
It might have been.
Okay,
it might have been. I was trying to remember because I was reading up on the synopsis, and I was trying to remember. It's like, is this the first time we actually saw Vera?
Yeah,
but yeah, it was this big food fight. I was reading about Jim Burrows directing the food fight like a couple times, and yeah, it's like I think got ranked like 7th episode of all time by like TV Guide or something.
Oh, okay.
It's great episode. Cheers is still one of those shows that holds up, no questions.
100%. The first season of Fresh Off the Boat.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah. They do an amazing episode around Thanksgiving and the whole thing, and in Orlando and trying to make it traditional and stuff like this. And they have no idea what's really going on.
Sure.
Fresh Off the Boat, another very underrated show.
Yeah, it really is.
One of the few shows where the kids, as they've gotten older, have stayed adorable.
That's a very good point.
Which is hard.
Yeah, you never know with kids. Like you never know. Like
well, like the Goldbergs, when the older brother and sister were like 20 when the series started, so they're not aging as quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas Adam was like this adorable kid, and then he hit puberty, and you were like, oh no, this thing. And because his voice was changing so hard, and it was hard to keep him cute. But in the same respect, as he went through that, he's still adorable because the kid really hasn't aged much past that.
Right.
Like he's one of those baby face kind of a kids that like 3 years ago, you're like, oh no, what's it going to look like in 3 years? And he just looks the same, and his voice sort of changed into a new sounding voice.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Whereas what's his name? The dumb kid on Modern Family.
Oh, Luke Dunphy.
Yeah.
He like started working out and he's jacked.
Yeah, no, we turned it on a couple of weeks ago.
That kid goes to Harvard or something.
My wife's like, oh, Luke got kind of hot. Like, wow. All right. Like he grew up into a good-looking dude.
Yeah,
who would have thought? Like he was like had this weird fro thing.
All 3 kids in the Dunphy family, off camera, are all quite scandalous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Especially the middle daughter.
Yeah. Speaking of shows that are known for Thanksgiving episodes, New Girl did a bunch of them.
Yes.
And in the second season, she tries Parent Trap style to reunite her parents, who are played by Jamie Lee Curtis and Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
And it ends with her in like a turkey costume.
Yes.
I'm big fan of New Girl. I thought that was like
their
hands
holiday
down a great
episodes
show.
were fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas always brought. I mean. Hysterically fun and heartfelt.
Yeah. It was one of those Friends type shows where it worked in this group of friend family sort of things. And speaking of Rob Reiner, when I was looking up some stuff, there's an All in the Family episode, and I'm trying to remember when I've seen it. It's been years, but it's called The Little Atheist. And it was around Thanksgiving dinner. Archie gets in a fight with his daughter and son-in-law because he's worried that his unborn grandchild is going to be raised without religion.
Okay.
And the family is fighting because the parents want to let the child decide for themselves, and Archie wants to baptize the kid and all this other stuff.
I see this coming up in a Makuga family dinner.
It sounds like my Thanksgiving in a few years.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. But I always do love All in the Family.
Oh yeah, me too. I will say there were some classic Simpsons, and obviously the Peanuts special. But
sure.
Some classic Simpsons episode. The Bart vs. Thanksgiving episode is consistently brought up in a lot of these lists, and it's an early episode. It's in the like heyday of Simpsons, like season 2 through 8.
Sure.
It's one of those Thanksgiving. I mean, Simpsons obviously more well known for their Halloween specials than anything.
Yes.
Though you did find Santa's Little Helper on a Christmas episode. The Bart vs. Thanksgiving is a very, very well done episode. Very Bart vs. Lisa heavy. I really like that episode.
That's fun. That's fun. There were 2. I know I bring the show up all the time, but there are 2 incredible episodes of The West Wing that did Thanksgiving specials. There's Shibboleth, which is when the Chinese evangelicals try to gain religious asylum.
Okay.
And then Indians in the Lobby, which is famous. There's a few Native American tribal leaders that are protesting by kind of having a sit-in in the White House to try to get health care. But then the B story is the president calls the Butterball Turkey hotline because he's the ultimate nerd,
right?
And he has all these questions that he is debating about with the staff, and so he gets the Butterball Turkey hotline on and like does this whole runabout on the phone with them, and with them kind of not really realizing that they're talking to the president of the United States, but because he wants to ask them these questions and prove that he was correct. It's very entertaining.
Have you ever called the Butterball hotline?
I don't think I've ever called the hotline. No.
Have you tried this 25-pound microwave challenge that everybody's trying?
No, what is that?
Have you seen this? So you text your parents because you're doing your turkey for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this meme. Yeah.
Can you put a 25-pound turkey? My friend just did it. It's actually pretty funny. My mom would lose her mind and call me.
My mom would be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
Sounds good.
A recent show that doesn't really have like a season. It's a Netflix show, but did an amazing Thanksgiving episode in season 2, I believe. It was Master of None.
Yeah. The Lena Waithe episode.
Yes, the Lena Waithe episode.
Yes.
Where she comes up to her mom, played by Angela Bassett. Thank you. Very, very well done episode.
Yeah.
And that show, I don't know if we'll ever see a season 3. I don't know.
I don't think so anymore. Yeah.
But 2 seasons of just fantastic television.
Yeah. No.
And this was a very like heartfelt. It's a small family, but they always welcome Aziz Ansari in there.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty great Thanksgiving episode for sure.
Yeah.
And I would be remiss if we didn't do the gang buries the beef.
Oh God,
squashes their beef.
Yes, that's on my list as well. The gang squashes their beef is. Oh man, I mean, there's something about the pitch of It's Always Sunny Thanksgiving special,
right?
That just
because it's not going to be.
It's not going to go the way you think it is going to go.
No, not at all. And this is one of like maybe 2 they ever did.
They have not done.
They never do holiday episodes, and also their show rarely airs during holidays.
True. They'll do a Super Bowl special, or a World Series special,
like a Philadelphia thing,
a Philadelphia thing tied around. But they won't do other than the wonderfully underrated Christmas movie that they did direct to DVD. We talked about This Is Us, the first season, Pilgrim Rick. I don't think they're going to be able to top that.
Okay,
that's when we first see the Police Academy tradition of them at the cabin.
That's in season 1, though.
That was season 1. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to top that as far as This Is Us Thanksgiving episodes, because I think everything else since then. I forget what they did last year. This past season or this past week, the newest Thanksgiving episode references that a lot.
Okay.
And I liked the storytelling device, but there was something about learning that story tradition. There's one plot line in this week's episode that I loved more than anything else. That shows us a different family's Thanksgiving tradition that was really good. There's also a couple other ones on my list. Home Improvement did one once called My Dinner with Wilson.
Oh, Home Improvement usually did do a good Thanksgiving episode. He also, remember all the Christmas ones, he put up all the lights and everything.
All the lights at the Tool Time house. But so My Dinner with Wilson, Wilson comes over for Thanksgiving dinner, so they have all the food and centerpieces are covering his face at the table. So it's very the way they have to shoot it so that you still don't see past his face, past his nose.
I remember that episode.
And then they find out that he wants to move to Ecuador.
Wilson does.
Yeah. To hang out with
Tim going to get his advice.
Right. He wants to hang out with JTE. Yeah. And but he wants to move to Ecuador. It's later revealed that it's because he's been dealing with the death of his wife 15 years prior and is depressed. Apparently, I don't remember why, but it features a guest appearance by James Cromwell, who's plays the character of Fred. And there's the screenshot. I haven't seen this episode in years, but the screenshot that I found was Wilson and James Cromwell standing behind the fence together. And I don't know who Fred was. I couldn't. Apparently, he was never on another episode of Home Improvement.
I honestly haven't watched Home Improvement all the way through since it was on the air.
No, I'd never revisited it. No. But I definitely.
I enjoyed it when it was on.
I enjoyed it when it was on. I used to watch it in reruns a bunch. And it's very, very entertaining. A couple of shows, like I was mentioning, had their season finales around Thanksgiving. Mad Men season 1, The Wheel. Remember the Kodak?
Yeah.
The Kodak. Slide projector
slide
thing.
projector thing. Yeah,
the big
yeah.
pitch. That was the season 1 finale.
No way.
Don decides to not go to Betty's family for Thanksgiving, and then Friday Night Lights. Their season 4 finale, when Michael B. Jordan was in the cast, was the Thanksgiving show.
Interesting. Nice. I like that.
Yeah, and then of course, lest we forget, MacGyver. The Outsiders, when MacGyver helps an Amish community defend against an evil construction team. In Pennsylvania, no doubt, of course. His Jeep breaks down, and he's rescued by an Amish family, and then finds out that there's an evil contractor that wants their land, so he helps them.
And using no electrical devices at all.
Of course,
any modern technology.
If there's one, if there's one place that MacGyver can work his magic in,
it's the Amish.
It's the Amish community. In case anyone didn't know, I'm a legit huge MacGyver fan.
I love MacGyver.
I own every season on DVD.
Do you really?
Or I did. I might have sold off a couple of them. But at one point, I owned all of them on DVD.
So back in the day, I used to go to this gym in Pittsburgh. It was called the Bodatorium. Okay? It was awesome. It was in a strip mall.
That might be the douchiest thing I've heard in a while.
Dude, the Bodatorium.
The Bodatorium.
And the Bodatorium, I was like the only guy in there that wasn't like a power lifter.
Yeah.
Right? It was all power lifter dudes, right? And I would go in the morning either before school or in the summertime I would go before work. Okay?
Sure.
And I would be there. I'd be on like the treadmill or the elliptical or whatever. And on the TV, there would either be an episode of MacGyver that I could hear or an episode of Quantum Leap. So for 2 years.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. So for 2 years, I was so knowledgeable in the MacGyver Quantum Leap realm. I would come home and talk at dinner. My dad's like, enough Quantum Leap.
Why did they never do a crossover where he leaps into MacGyver's body?
I have no idea. I don't know if that was on like different networks or different whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Listen, they're both still alive.
They are.
And I mean, MacGruber's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
MacGruber is one of the greatest comedies of all time. But yeah, MacGyver's incredible.
Yes.
The reboot is trash, and it pains me every time I see it on television.
All right,
do you have any other on your list, or
no,
are we
that's
off
it.
to Friends? All right, yeah. The only ones I had Boston Legal and The Office.
The Office.
The Office. Well, Dwight did a hay festival in the parking lot one year.
Right.
It was inside the episode where Ryan is building that website.
Yes.
So the episode was actually called WPHF.com. WUPHF.com. Which I was saying off the air, I just rewatched the weight loss episode last night.
That's a great one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like it started, I was like, oh, I forgot about this episode. And then it's going through and like, this is the proposal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it brought me in tears.
My brother and I were texting the other day. Is one, I forgot how good Meet the Parents is as a movie. This is like
the first one is great.
Fantastic.
The first one still holds up.
I mean, my goodness, is that movie amazing. Second, I forgot how much Office I forgot.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, there's so much Office.
Seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, when I can catch on, because Comedy Central plays it all the time, which is amazing.
Yeah.
If I'm turned on and I can catch like a season 2 episode or season 3 episode, I'm immediately hooked and then I watch it through. So like my brother and I were watching and just like sat through 6 episodes without even blinking.
Yeah.
God, that show is so good.
It was great.
All right. My favorite episode obviously is it's the number one everybody always talks about, which is when Rachel makes the custard pie with meat. And my favorite line in Friends history was when Joey just says, meat good, right? Because he's just saying all the things that he likes, and then he just ends, meat good. Like I love that episode of Friends. It's fantastic. It's the number one across the board. Everybody kind of says it's the number one across the board. But for me, that's my favorite Friends episode, period.
Really?
Yes. 100%.
Favorite one.
100%.
All right.
Even like the leather pants and the pivot episode.
Yeah.
They're great, but this is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I always go back to the outdoor football game.
That's a good one.
I think that was my favorite one. The sibling rivalry.
Because rarely
do
they leave the apartments.
True. Yeah. Not a lot of outdoor scenes,
especially in the Thanksgiving episodes.
Right.
You have the coffee shop and stuff. And the street outside the coffee shop.
Sure. And then, obviously the one with the turkey head.
Yes. That's hold on.
That was the one with the one with all the Thanksgivings, because I think
flashbacks.
That was the flashback episode.
When Phoebe dies in World War I. That's amazing. Yeah, it's really funny.
And then Chandler or Joey was in the box.
Yes,
Chandler was in the box. Who was in the box?
Chandler's in the box is a different episode.
Yeah. That was its own Thanksgiving episode.
Yes, and then you forget that one of the episodes during Thanksgiving was the Brad Pitt
The
episode.
Brad Pitt shows up.
Yeah. His line in that is awesome. Is complex carbohydrates are my worst enemy next to Rachel Green. Like that was because he was fat.
Yeah,
he got skinny, and that at the time was when Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were dating.
That's why he was on the show. Because the relationship that would never die.
No, I imagine somewhere in this world, like you watch those movies, you hear those stories, like A Dog's Purpose, which I've mentioned before on this show, which ripped my heart out. Is that spoiler alert? At the end of the movie, a love affair is rekindled. I think just like Benjamin Button, one day Brad Pitt walks back into Jennifer Aniston's life. They get married late in life, like at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, true loves, are reunited once again.
Wow, I don't see that happening at all.
Well, you know what? F you.
This
was supposed to be a Thanksgiving miracle.
That was which episode of Friends was the Thanksgiving miracle line? Because that's one of the more quotable Friends lines.
I think that's the Brad Pitt episode. Or is it the Chandler in a box when he comes out of the box?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Are you looking that up?
No.
Okay. But you're right. It is a great line.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do some things we're thankful for?
Yes.
And then we'll read some tweets for some peeps. And then we will talk so quickly about Daredevil and then go home.
So fast.
Okay. Here are 3 things that I'm thankful for in television.
In television.
Just in general.
In general.
All of it together.
Okay.
Clearly, I'm thankful for Jeopardy and its nightly addition to the American psyche, helping people with knowledge. Alex Trebek quiz everything right after a news show that is literally all commercials. I'm happy for Jeopardy. Have you ever watched the NBC Nightly News? Our Jeopardy here in LA is on NBC.
No, it's on ABC.
ABC, I'm sorry. So it's the ABC Nightly News.
Yeah, David Muir, the guy that likes to wear all of the low button-down shirt.
Correct.
Show off his chest.
A lot of chest. David Muir, that show is like, and now for a great story in Rhode Island. But first, here's 7 minutes of commercial. It's legitimately 5 minutes of news.
That's why I record the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. I prefer that.
Big Lester Holt guy.
I prefer the Lester Holt news much more. He's a good newsman.
A good newsman.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I'm very, very thankful for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay.
That was my favorite show of last year, hands down, above and beyond.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that in April of 2019, we're finally going to get to see who sits on the Iron Throne. Oh. That's what I'm thankful for.
That's wonderful.
Thanks, man.
That's really nice.
Okay. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for a number of things. I'm thankful for every Thanksgiving getting to rewatch all of my favorite Saturday Night Live sketches. Special airs every year.
Thing to be thankful
I was just pulling up my favorite ones. There's so many great ones. It just reminds me when I'm not with my family. It reminds me of all the times that I was with my family. Watching that was our thing. Like I watched all the old episodes 100%. On Comedy Central in from 75, the 1981 to 94, like the beginning, the beginnings of the Eddie Murphy years through the end of the Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey years was
just genius.
That was every episode that would watch them on loop with my father and I.
Yeah.
So I'm always thankful for Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
I'm very thankful for all of the wonderful shows that we get on the Netflixes and the Amazons and being able to.
Thankful for the binge. Are you thankful for the binge?
I'm thankful for the binge, and I'm thankful for there being so many shows that I don't necessarily have to watch all of them.
Yes.
I can pick and choose. I can say I'm going to watch 13 hours of this show.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch 8 hours of that show.
Okay.
Because it's going to take me 13 hours in real time to watch. I'm not watching in double speed. Though I did meet someone a week ago that watches television in double speed.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's how he gets through it all.
Holy cow.
He watches.
That's intense.
He figured out how to watch it because he said he started. He listens to audiobooks. In double speed.
I do that too.
And
speed and a half. I do same as podcast.
So he can podcasts and audiobooks.
Yeah.
So he just dialogue friendly network television or whatever can watch it in double speed.
Well done.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I could never
do it.
I could never do that.
Especially
but I'm watching for the visuals
Narcos.
as much as the
You're a visual guy. I get it.
much as the dialogue. But and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to talk about television every week.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
This
Thanks
is fun.
Love you, man.
This is fun. Love
Happy
you too.
Thanksgiving. Should we hear from some of our tweets? Some
Yeah.
of our peeps?
What do the four fans say?
At Tanner, I should have sent this out last night. I sent this out like a minute before
I logged
the show.
into Twitter this morning and I was like, oh, Josh didn't tweet anything.
Yeah, it's my bad.
Should I tweet something? I'm going to go back to sleep.
My bad. At Tanner Rowan 6 says, thankful for you guys talking about Rectify.
Yes.
Started the show last week and it's great. Tanner, you're correct. Thankful that you're watching.
Enjoy all of
I'm
Rectify.
jealous of your eyeballs to see it for the first time.
Put all the terrible news about Lethal Weapon out of your brain.
Get it out.
Don't think about that. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy Ray McKinnon's wonderful story that he crafted. Great show.
At Smog Dude says, grateful for you guys bringing back my new favorite show after almost a year-long hiatus. You're welcome. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. At Fabio Silverio. Oh, Fabio Silverio. That's pretty funny. Thankful for Sherlock and Doctor Who. On a more American note, thankful for the one show that started all the Simpsons. Yes, me too.
Simpsons.
And at MColeM18, Michael Coleman, great guy. Has been a fan of all the shows for a long time. Thankful for Mayans and Return of Happy. Spoiler alert.
Oof.
I mean, he was in the show in the
like
episode 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
We all know the Sons of Anarchy are sort of in the show.
Right.
But yes, he's happy for Mayans. I agree. And happy that Antonio Jaramillo came in studio, or his dad pronounced it. And I can't do it. I won't do it. Thank you guys. We're thankful for you guys for listening and for watching. And we wouldn't be here without you guys. So subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends about it. Collider Podcast, the Collider TV Talk podcast feed as well. And real quick, let's just give our overall thoughts in under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes. Because we have to as the red light comes on.
Perfect
that's
timing.
a sign. It's a red show with a red man.
Yeah. All right. So whoever's listening to the red light, turn it off in 2 minutes. That's our
2 minutes.
All
That's
right?
our out.
And this is all spoilers. So if you haven't watched Daredevil yet, just mute it.
You can mute it in
for 2
5,
minutes.
4, 3, 2, 1, go, Thad.
The priest dies, and it was spoilers. Ha ha. I really liked it. I enjoyed the drawn out conversation of learning who Bullseye was and revisit.
One of the things I didn't like.
You did not like that. My biggest dislike was I did not like the way I didn't like the sister, the nun.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like her.
The mother thing?
Yeah, well, I knew that was coming.
Sure.
I knew that storyline was coming. I just didn't like the portrayal of that particular character.
What I did like about the sister thing was I enjoyed the origin story of it all when she's like with his father and she's got postpartum and all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed those flashbacks. I did. I did not love how it ended or like that whole reveal of her talking and him hearing it because he's Daredevil. Didn't love that.
Yeah.
Didn't love all that. One flashback I did really like was the Karen Page flashback.
The Karen episode was incredible.
The Karen origin story.
And that was the same director that directed the unbelievable fight scene in the prison.
Yes, the prison fight scene was, that was breathtakingly done. That was all in one take, wasn't it?
There's an article on Collider.com with that director.
Oh,
and
cool.
I recommend if you read it because he talks about how they crafted it. There's over 50 stuntmen. They did it like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
They have multiple cameramen, so the camera will rest in position, and then a cameraman will come and relieve the other person and pick the camera up and keep going.
No way.
They switch between the stunt doubles and the actors multiple times. It's mind blowing to listen to.
Wow.
Or to read.
Yeah.
And then he also directed the Karen episode and talks about that as well.
If there's one thing that Daredevil has done well as opposed to, Luke Cage has done it well too, but those one shot, those extended fight scenes.
They're known for it now. Yeah, it's like every year.
Gotta have it.
You expect it.
Again, I thought the show could have been done in 10 episodes. I wasn't a big fan of how it ended, how the episode ended with Fisk. I like how it ended with Bullseye.
Yeah.
And if we ever see a 4th season, I'm looking forward to it because I actually really enjoyed the actor that played Bullseye.
I did too.
I thought the action scenes with Bullseye, him throwing all the stuff, was amazing.
Yeah.
I really can't stand the relationship between Fisk and Vanessa. I find that so contrived. And
I liked it. I didn't like that it just dropped in at the last 2 episodes.
Yes. Me too. It seems so late and so kind of out of thing.
Yeah.
I really disliked how every time they tried to do something, Fisk seemed to have his hand, especially in the federal government. I was like, I mean, a guy that's just in Hell's Kitchen.
I started hating that episode with the FBI where she kills him in the living room. But by the time that they reveal the whole FBI task force, and they like are calling him by his FBI code name and stuff, Kingpin.
Yeah.
That's when I was like,
I did like that reveal.
Like, and I was talking about it with somebody in the office. I really liked Ray. And I really liked the arc of that of that character. We meet him in the beginning. We fall for him. We want to see him succeed. We also meet Bullseye in the beginning, and we think that he's also good. And then clearly they're going in two different paths.
Yeah.
But I liked that whole family dynamic and his tragic ending.
I agree, and I had this sneaking suspicion and this like haunting feeling that at the end of it they were going to put Ray in that like clay pot, and he was going to become part of the hand. And I was like, please God, don't do that.
I hope the hand never comes back.
Me too. I'm so done with the hand.
Let's be honest, Daredevil's never going to come back.
Yeah, I mean it could.
We're going to see. We're going to see. But we're going to see. Nah, they're going to do the movie stuff.
Okay.
We're going to see the Punisher, and we're going to see Jessica Jones because they already filmed it.
Right.
And then that's it.
That's it.
I think.
Overall, as far as if we're going to rank this against 1, 2, and 3, where do you rank the seasons?
I think it's on par with 2.
Yeah.
I think 2 had great moments and okay moments, and I think this one also had great moments and okay moments.
I think we could have really just like shrunk down the Matt fighting with God thing into like less time.
Yeah.
And Foggy, he has some great moments in this show.
Yeah.
And some moments I'm like, God, can he be more cheesy sometimes?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the writing or whatever it is, but I really, this is my favorite Marvel series, clearly.
Without a doubt.
Obviously, I don't think anyone even comes close to it. Maybe the first half of Luke Cage season 1.
Yeah.
And The Punisher. You know, obviously,
Punisher was
awesome. I agree.
Evenly great.
You're right, 100%. I should have said that before I opened my mouth. But Daredevil season 3 overall, out of let's just call it 10 Collider TV talks, 10 ski masks to the face that cover your eyeballs. Out of 10, what are you going to give it?
I'd give it a solid 8.
Okay, I was going to say 7.5 for me.
Yeah.
If it was 10 episodes, 9.
Yeah.
As far as TV goes, if you like action TV in these Marvel series, this is a great thing.
It's very entertaining.
Great season. Thank you guys for watching Collider TV Talk. I'm Josh McCouga at Josh McCouga. Again, subscribe to the channel, Collider Podcast. You can check all the other Collider content. We've got so much. Collider Live, Collider Movie Talk, Collider Sports Time, all that kind of fun stuff. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, or enjoy your Black Friday. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Thad Williams?
You can find me at Thad Williams, and we're thankful for you, and we're thankful for you listening and watching and commenting on Twitter and yelling at us for very, very minute things, and that's fine, and we love you anyways.
And we appreciate it. This is a time for giving and a time for love, so go hug some people. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.